Welcome to the Operation Bohica podcast. My name is Kevin, and today it's going to be my first Barclays Premier League watch along for this is for the 2025-26 season. Today it is match day 4, coming back from the international break that they had last weekend, and in today's matchup, it is going to be the team that right now sits in third, Arsenal. They will be the home team. They will be hosting the team that sits in 10th in the Premier League table, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest got a lot going on. They just sacked or fired their manager a little over a week ago. The man that really brought them a lot of success, and that was Nuno Espirito Santo. There have been a lot of tension between him and the owner, Macanenis, I think that's his name, in the last few months, going back to a really crazy incident that happened late last season. And so they asked Nuno, what is your relationship with the owner? He said it's not what it was. And pretty much that's kind of where we're at as far as that goes. So Nuno Espirito Santo gets the sack, gets fired a little over a week ago. And a very controversial replacement, a man named Ange Postecoglou, who managed Tottenham Hotspur last season. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very good season for Tottenham Hotspur under Ange Postecoglou. They finished in 17th place. I believe that's their worst finish ever in the Premier League. However, in spite of that, Tottenham Hotspur did win the Europa League, 1-0 over Manchester United. So, in spite of everything, Tottenham Hotspur were still able to get a trophy, their first trophy in over 25 years. Meanwhile, Arsenal, the pressure is on Mikel Arteta to finally win the Premier League, a title that Arsenal have not won since the 2003-04 season. The season in which they are remembered as the Invincibles. The Arsenal team of 2003-04 went undefeated that season. They were the first team since 1888-89, which way back when, obviously, Preston North End finished undefeated that season. Of course, Arsenal have won a few titles since then. Probably the most dramatic one was back in 1989, when they went to Anfield against Liverpool, and Arsenal won the championship that year with essentially the last kick of the season, a great goal by Michael Thomas. But right now it is a struggle for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. They're still trying to get over the hump. The first couple of years, they were unable to get past Manchester City. In the 2024-25 season, many did expect Arsenal to finally win the Premier League. However, Liverpool, under first-year manager Arne Slot, were able to come out on top. And really, they won the Premier League in dominant fashion. So this has been the third straight season in which Arsenal have finished second in the Barclays Premier League. And again, the pressure is absolutely on Mikel Arteta to finally win the Premier League. With that being said, Arsenal have had a decent start to the season. I am not able to put up the Premier League table on my screen, but I will show you the table. I will tell you the table real quick. Right now, Liverpool sitting in first place with 9 points. Chelsea second with 7 points. Arsenal were basically in a 5-way tie. They got 6 points. It's them, Tottenham Hotspur, Everton, Sunderland, and Bournemouth. Like I said earlier, Nottingham Forest right now sitting in a tie for 10th place. They're tied with Manchester United, Brighton, and Leeds United. Again, it's been only 3 games in this Barclays Premier League season. So in just a few minutes, we're going to have kickoff in about 5 minutes. But before we go to the kickoff, let's go to the starting lineups for Arsenal. It's all right on your screen. At goalkeeper, obviously, David Raya making his 100th appearance for Arsenal. The center backs are going to be Magallanes and Mosquera. Unfortunately, William Saliba, the other star center back for Arsenal, is out with an injury. At left back, Calafiori. At right back, Jurian Timber, a fantastic right back. Uh, the defensive formation, the midfield, excuse me. You got Zubamendi, Mikel Merino, and you have the captain for Arsenal, Martin Odegaard, who is also under a lot of pressure. A lot of Arsenal fans have been very critical of his performances dating back to last season. And then the front three for Arsenal, uh, everybody's new as far as the front three. You've got Eze from Crystal Palace. On the left wing, you've got Maduke, who Arsenal acquired from Chelsea. He's on the right wing. And the star striker, the new star striker, Victor Gyökeres, and he'll be in the middle of that front three. The starting lineup for Nottingham Forest, the visitors, at goalkeeper Sells. The center back combination is going to be Murillo and Milenkovic. The left back is Morata. Nico Williams at right back, a fantastic right back. Nottingham Forest with a two-man defensive midfield of Elliot Anderson and Sangare. And then the three-man midfield is going to be Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left, the fantastic Morgan Gibbs-White in the middle, and Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to be on, Ndoye is going to be on the right side, and Chris Wood is going to be the lone striker as Arsenal will line up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Correction. Arsenal in their standard 4-3-3 formation. Nottingham Forest will start off in the 4-2-3-1 formation. Mosquera, number 3 for Arsenal, will make his debut as center back as the teams are starting their traditional handshake. So as I go through the handshake line, I want to thank everybody that's on YouTube, on X, and I finally got on TikTok. So feel free to like, comment, let me know what you think of this matchup. Also tonight is the big one in boxing. Canelo Alvarez will take on Terrence Bud Crawford. I might do a watch along for that one. That'll be a quicker watch along. I'm going to go straight into the main event. I'm not going to do a watch along for the other fights on that card. Quite frankly, I'm not really hyped up about the other fights, but I definitely want to see what happens, obviously, in the main event between Terrence Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. And I'm gonna keep it real. And I know this is not going to be a very a very popular opinion, but I Canelo's gonna walk out with the victory. But if I'm being honest, if Bud Crawford ends up winning, I really don't think that that's going to be that big of an upset. But that's just how I feel about that fight. So I might do a watch along for that fight tonight. We'll see. Maybe not. Also, the captains are Martin Odegaard for Arsenal and Morgan Gibbs-White for Nottingham Forest. So again, thank you to everybody that's watching on YouTube. And again, I finally got on TikTok. Finally. So anybody on TikTok, feel free to let me know your thoughts about this matchup between Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. Again, the debut as manager of Nottingham Forest for Ange Postecoglou, who was the manager of Tottenham Hotspur the last 2 seasons. And we're getting close to kickoff here, live from Emirates Stadium, the home of Arsenal. If Nottingham Forest were to win today at Arsenal, it will be the first time Nottingham Forest beats Arsenal at Arsenal since 1989, back when Arsenal played at the old Highbury Stadium. And kickoff is about to begin right now. Arsenal in their traditional home red uniforms. Arsenal attacking from right to left on the screen. Nottingham Forest wearing the white kit, the white shirt with the wearing white and black. White and blue. And that'll be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. Morato with the throw-in. There's a look at Madueke, who Arsenal acquired from Chelsea. Arsenal unable to do anything with that pass. And David Raya collects it to Mosquera. Mosquera pushing up to Magallanes. Chris Wood almost got that. Gabriel picked off by Milenkovic. Now Hudson-Odoi to the right. Gibbs White. Gibbs White tried to pass. Blocked. Elliot Anderson. To Nico Williams. Nico Williams to Anderson. Anderson pressured by Goicores. Back to Milenkovic as Nottingham Forest regroup. All the way back to Sells. Sells to Murillo. Murillo. A long pass. No one there for Forest. David Raya picks it up. Mosquera making his debut for Arsenal. Marino to Gabriel. Back to Mosquera. Back to Gabriel. Back to David Raya. Raya to Odegaard. Back to Mosquera. Mosquera to Odegaard. Odegaard going into the middle of the field. To Marino. Marino on the left. To Eze. Eze pressured by Nico Williams. Eze loses his shoe in the process. There's a look at Mikel Arteta. Again, the Arsenal manager who is under pressure to finally win the Premier League. Gibbs White. To Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi almost loses it. Goicores almost intercepts it, but it's back to Forest. Milenkovic. Nico Williams. Calafiori. Pressured by Chris Wood. Back to Eze. Eze to Gabriel. Gabriel to Jurriën Timber. And Doi for Nottingham Forest. Still down. Holding his calf. He did receive a robust challenge from Calafiori after receiving the pass from Nico Williams. Oh, there's a humongous tear in the back of in his sock. So that was a legit challenge by Calafiori. There's a look at the new manager for Nottingham Forest, Ange Postecoglou. I'm going to be honest, he looks kind of weird on the sideline of Nottingham Forest. I've gotten so used to seeing him with Tottenham. Unfortunately, he got the sack. Again, under Ange Postecoglou last year, Tottenham did win the Europa League, but finished 17th in the Premier League. They had, what, 21, 22 losses in that season. Goicoris, Marino, Odegaard. Odegaard, bad pass. Cleared by Forrest. Gabriel, nice move on Chris Wood. To Odegaard. To Madueke on the right wing. Met by Hudson-Odoi. Cross. Met by Murillo. Murillo clears it. Anderson to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi, 3 Arsenal players on him, and he loses possession, and that will be a throw-in for Arsenal. Again, if you like what you're seeing, whether you're on YouTube or on TikTok, hit the follow my channel. There's a shove by Chris Wood on Gabriel. That'll be a free kick for Arsenal. The first free kick of the match. No question about that. That was a clear foul by Chris Wood. And it looks like Odegaard will take the free kick from about 30 yards. Again, Martin Odegaard has come under a lot of fire for his performances in an Arsenal shirt. A lot of people have criticized him for what is perceived to be a lack of great performances in the big games. Odegaard with the kick into the penalty area. Header, Marino. Oh, saved by Sells to Madueke. Cleared by Forrest. Sliding tackle by Gibbs White. Odegaard is down. It's cleared out. Oh, that should have been a goal for Arsenal. Okay, Odegaard is back up. Madueke to Marino. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Odegaard is still down. Okay, Arsenal they might lose their captain. A strong but fair challenge by Morgan Gibbs White. Marino. Oh, just missed. That should have been 1-0 Arsenal. So now Arsenal's captain, Martin Odegaard, being attended to by the medical staff. Great save by Matthias Sells. Hopefully, Martin Odegaard can get back on his feet and continue playing. You never want to see a top player getting hurt. Matt Sells, the goalkeeper, had 13 clean sheets last season. The same as the goalkeeper for Arsenal, David Raya. Okay, Martin Odegaard is back up on his feet. He's going to be taken off the pitch for treatment. And like I said, hopefully he'll be able to stay in the game. So it'll be a corner kick for Arsenal, the first corner kick by either team in this match. Madueke, the left footer, with the corner. It's cleared. Okay, the header by Gabriel. Wide to the right, and it'll be a goal kick for Nottingham Forest. Gabriel had space, but the header way to the right. And now Nottingham Forest will regroup. Milenkovic, Elliot Anderson, back to Murillo. And that's picked up by Jurien Timber. Marino, Maduke, too far. And again, that'll be another goal kick for Nottingham Forest. Again, you're watching the Operation Bohica podcast. This is my first Barclays Premier League watch along for the 2025-26 season. I'll be doing plenty more of these as the season rolls on. There'll be a throw in for Arsenal. Oh, bad throw in. Forest in possession. Hudson-Odoi. Ndoi. Good job of grabbing that by David Raya. And now Arsenal on the counterattack. I can't remember who Ndoi used to play for last season. I know it might have been either Everton or Crystal Palace, but I'm probably wrong about that. Okay, that's out, and that'll be a throw-in. Okay, let's see. That was Zubimendi with the ball. That'll be a throw-in for Arsenal. Jurien Timber, who cuts inside. Now Maduke. Maduke gets around Murillo. Cross. Oh, just over the head of Mikel Marino. And now Nico Williams to Ndoi, to Elliot Anderson. Hudson-Odoi. Elliot Williams again. Nice pass. Now Nottingham Forest trying to get something built up, but Calafiori is there for Arsenal. And it goes back to Gabriel, to Mosquera, making his Premier League debut. Jurien Timber, back to Mosquera. Zubimendi, to Eze. Eze on the left wing, Eze acquired from Crystal Palace. Timber, back to Maduke on the right. Timber. Zubimendi, back to Timber. Mosquera. Mosquera sends it all the way back to David Raya, who's way outside of his penalty area. And he punts it to Murillo, but there's Goicores. Now Eze cuts inside. Shots blocked. And there's Sells. Eze had a chance, but that shot was blocked. Murillo asleep at the wheel, and Victor Goicores with the interception. That looked like that was blocked by Nico Williams. Now goal kick for Forest. Gives White to Murillo. Murillo tries a long pass, but no one there. David Raya. Gabriel. Zubimendi. Gabriel. Calafiori back to Raya. Raya to Mosquera. Mosquera pushing up. Arsenal attacking from right to left. Nottingham Forest from left to right. Odegaard, who's back in the game. Zubimendi. Calafiori to Odegaard. Good build up by Arsenal, but that pass is too long. Three force players there, and Sells picks it up. Now Nottingham Forest regroup. Murillo. Sliding tackle that does go off the arm of Murillo, but nothing called. Nico Williams tries to get it to end up, but there's Calafiori to Eze. Eze, nice move. Hey, Odegaard. Good pickup by Morata. What's up, Caden? Jurian Timber to Maduke. Maduke on the right wing. Met by Hudson Odoi. Maduke tries a couple of fancy moves. That ball is out, and that is a throw in for Arsenal. Thank you to everybody that's joining me on TikTok here on the Operation Bohica podcast. My first ever broadcast on TikTok. So this is new to me. Okay, Art Odegaard is down again and looks like he's going to be substituted. So we're going to have our first substitution of the game. So unfortunately, Arsenal's captain. It's going to be out after only 17 minutes. And now Nyamweri, a really good young player for Arsenal who had his moments. Last season, he will come on for Arsenal. I think Gabriel has taken the captain's armband. And back to the action, Mosquera to Gabriel. Gabriel pushing forward. Oh, that pass just wasn't quite there. Nottingham Forest picks it up. But there's Marino to Mosquera to David Raya. And Nottingham Forest content to sit back, not putting any real pressure on the Arsenal center backs right now. There's Timber. Back to Mosquera. And also tomorrow I'll be doing another watch along for my favorite football team, the New York Jets, as they host the Buffalo Bills. Wanyeri. Clear foul by Milenkovic. Their Arsenal on the break. Wanyeri. Wanyeri. Oh, he tried to pass it to Timber. Didn't work out, but Wanyeri gets the ball back. To Mosquera. Mosquera to Gabriel. Back to Mosquera. Mosquera almost at the halfway line. But again, Arsenal just seem content to sit back. Nottingham Forest not putting any real pressure right now. Guarnieri. Mosquera. Now trying to lure Nottingham Forest to go forward. And that gives a lot of space to Wanyeri. Wanyeri on the right wing with Milenkovic. There's Anderson also. Wanyeri. Bad pass. And that's cleared all the way out by Forrest. Back to the David Raya. Calafiori to Eze on the left. Eze cutting inside to Zubamendi. Jurian Timber to Maduke, plenty of space on the right wing. Oh, he puts a nice move on Murillo. The header by Gyökeres, not very good, and that's out. And that'll be a goal kick for Nottingham Forest. Good build-up by Maduke, but again, a very weak header by Gyökeres. Now Maduke putting the pressure on Murillo. Back to Morata. Morata on the left wing to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi tries to nutmeg Mosquera, doesn't work. Mosquera pushing forward. Wanyeri on the right to Maduke, who's hugging the touchline. And that's off of Maduke. And that'll be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. No score as we near the middle of the first half here in this match day 4 of the 2025-26 Barclays Premier League season. Okay, there's a nice little look at the ref cam to see what the ref sees. Back to the action. Good job by Maduke. Maduke in the penalty area. Nice sliding tackle by Murillo, and that'll be a corner for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta shouting instructions to the Gunners. Again, thank you to everybody that's joining me on TikTok. Appreciate it. Maduke will take the corner. Arsenal attacking from left to right. There's the corner. Oh, Wanyeri with a shot. That's blocked. Zubamendi picks it up, crosses it, cleared by Forrest. Ndoi battling Eze and Calafiori. Good challenge by Calafiori. That'll be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. Good, clean challenge. 23 minutes into the first half. Throw-in for Forest. Forest trying to win at Arsenal for the first time since 1989. There's the throw-in. Mosquera clears it out of bounds. Another throw-in for Nottingham Forest. There's a look at Nottingham Forest's star striker, Chris Wood. And that's a foul by Zubamendi on Elliot Anderson. So that'll be a free kick for Nottingham Forest. "24 minutes into the first half. And hey, if you're watching, join me in the chat. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know what you think of this matchup. And let me know what you think of tonight's fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. Let me know who you got. There's into the penalty area, cleared by Jurian Timber, and that'll be another throw-in for Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest attacking from right to left. Elliot Anderson On the left to Murillo. Murillo sends it all the way back to Sells. Sells with the long kick to Chris Wood. To Hudson Odoi. Hudson Odoi's been very quiet so far. Foul by Maduke on Elliot Anderson. Hudson Odoi cutting inside to Gibbs White. Gibbs White. That pass out just a little bit too long to Nico Williams, and that'll be a goal kick for Arsenal. Arsenal taking that goal kick quick. Arsenal 63% possession right now. Nottingham Forest, no shots. No shots on goal. Arsenal, one shot on goal. That's saved by Sells. Arsenal has taken 5 shots overall, so it's been a slow-moving game. Gabriel to Goicoris. What a pass. Marino on the left. Looking for help, but nothing really there. So back to Gabriel. Mosquera near the halfway line. Back to Gabriel. Back to Mosquera. Zubimendi. Mosquera. Guarnieri. In for Martin Odegaard, who got hurt in the 16th minute. Timber at right back, cutting inside. Back to Mosquera. To Guarnieri, who's on the right side of the midfield. Maduke, back to Guarnieri. To Zubimendi, great passing by Arsenal. Zubimendi to Eze. Eze cuts in, shot blocked. And that'll be a throw-in for Arsenal. See if we can get a goal by either team here to spice things up in this matchup. Arsenal kind of focusing their attack more on the right side. There's Guarnieri, number 22, battling Elliot Anderson. Guarnieri winning the matchup. Eze to Mikel Marino. Back to Gabriel. Gabriel to Mosquera. Mosquera, plenty of space. Mosquera pushing forward. To Timber. Timber cutting inside. Good pass to Zubimendi. Goicores was going to take a shot, but Murillo's there. Now Goicores, low cross. Murillo, sliding tackle, and that'll be a corner for Arsenal. There's Ange Postecoglou, the new manager of Nottingham Forest. He's going to be under a lot of pressure because of the way the owner, Markanekis, I think that's how you pronounce it. That guy looks like he's quite the character. There's another corner for Arsenal. Maduke with the corner. The header by Calafiori. That's out, but let's see who. Does Arsenal get another corner? Let's see what the ref's decision is. Mikel Arteta feeling the frustration. Okay, so it looks like it's off of Forest, and that'll be another corner for Arsenal. Maduke cleared by Forest. Out to Maduke again. Maduke crosses it. Sells. Gets a hand on it before Gabriel is able to get the ball, and that'll be another corner for Arsenal. But this time out, it'll be a corner from the left side of the pitch. From the left corner, excuse me. Look at that dude. Crazy fans. All right, Eze is going to take this left corner. Eze cleared by Sells. Out to Maduke. Maduke against Ndoye. Great moves by Maduke. Maduke. Oh, Jurien Timber. Shot was blocked by Murillo, and that'll be another corner. Murillo down. Outstanding defensive work by Murillo. And that might have gone in if it wasn't for the defensive work. Murillo still limping, but it looks like he'll be fine. 30 minutes into the first half, no score between Arsenal and Nottingham Forest, live from Emirates Stadium, the home of the Gunners. Arsenal looking to go atop the Premier League, even if it's temporary. Arsenal looking to go atop the Premier League with a win today. Maduke with the corner. Cleared by Forrest. Zubamendi, and he scores. What a rocket by Zubamendi, and Arsenal take a 1-0 lead. What an outstanding goal taken from that corner. Oh, already trouble for Nottingham Forest. Beautiful goal. It was headed out by Milenkovic, and it looked like it bounced off of the head of either Anderson or Murillo on that kick as they tried to clear it, but they couldn't get enough of it, and Zubamendi catch it. That ball never even hit the ground, so it bounced off of, looks like off of the head of Anderson. That was just a straight up rocket, though. What a rocket. And Zubamendi with the goal. There's a look from the ref cam. That ball never hit the ground. What a fantastic kick. And the Gunners lead 1-0. Hey, what's up, New York Jets season? Yes, sir. I want to see the Jets beat Buffalo tomorrow. Absolutely. Okay, looks like there's an injury for Nottingham Forest. Might be Murillo. It looks like there's Ange Postecoglou giving instructions to his players. Players on both teams getting hydrated. Yeah, that goal's going to be in the highlight reels for years to come. Outstanding, outstanding kick. Off of Milenkovic's head. Straight to the feet of Zubamendi. Honestly, that's a goal of the highest quality. That's a Zinedine. That's one of them Zinedine Zidane kind of goals right there. Mega, mega good quality on that one. Okay, Murillo doing some warm-ups, trying to see if he can continue. So right now, Arsenal up a man due to the injury. Gabriel to Eze hugging the left touchline, met by Ndoye. Back to Gabriel. Mosquera. Gabriel. Mosquera to Julian Timber. Nottingham Forest still not putting any real pressure on Arsenal's defenders. There's Murillo back onto the pitch, limping a lot though. He might end up coming off at halftime. There's Gabriel, low cross blocked by Gibbs White, and that'll be a throw in for Arsenal. Murillo, number 5 for Nottingham Forest. To be honest, he is not looking good. He's really not. Throw in. Calafiori with the throw in. Zubimendi again. Oh, he almost got a second one. That was close. All right, Zubimendi channeling his inner Zinedine Zidane here. But that one was a little bit over the bar. That would have been crazy if he had gotten a second one for Arsenal. Okay, Murillo down again. I think this is it for him in this matchup. All right, so he's gonna come off, and he probably should come off for the remainder of the game. All right, so he will be replaced. Number 37, Savona. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about this Savona guy. But he'll be coming on for Nottingham Forest. I'll have to do my research on him at halftime and let you guys know what I can find out. Already, already an injury for Nottingham Forest. That was a big issue for Tottenham too. Injuries left and right when Ange Postecoglou was manager of Tottenham. But this is one of those injuries that's really not because Ange Postecoglou basically wore the players out. That this is one of those injuries that just kind of happens throughout the course of a match. All right, this will be a free kick for Forest. Anderson into the penalty area. Maduke taken down by Milenkovic. That's a clear foul. And it'll be a free kick for Arsenal. Oh, nice spin move by Marino. Marino to Goicores. Goicores has had a very quiet first half. Calafiori. Gabriel. Back to Mosquera. Mosquera's had a good first half at center back for Arsenal, but Nottingham Forest really hasn't had any real shots in the first half. Back to Gabriel. Gabriel. Mosquera. Mosquera to David Raya. David Raya. Hoops it towards Maduke. Too long. That's out. Throwing for Forest. Milenkovic. Nico Williams. Ndoye. Sangare. Ndoye. Ndoye. The cross. Cross is way too long. And that'll be a goal kick for Arsenal. And there's a look at Chris Wood, Arsenal star striker. David Raya to Gabriel. 10 shots for Arsenal so far in this game, 3 of them. 3 shots on goal, no shots at all for Nottingham Forest. A very stagnant Very stagnant offensive output for for Nottingham Forest. But there's Sangare and Doi with a lot of space on the right wing, met by Calafiori. Tries to get it to Savona, who pushed forward. That's off Mikel Marino, and that'll be the first corner for Nottingham Forest. So maybe the first sign of life from an offensive standpoint for Nottingham Forest in this matchup. Corner by Forest, cleared by Gabriel. Sangare. Back to Nico Williams. Nico Williams to Sells. Sells to Nico Williams. Now Nico Williams on the left side. To Morata. Nico Williams. Oh, there you go. Ndoye. Just outside the penalty area. Met by Mosquera. Hudson Odoi. Nico Williams. Anderson. Intercepted. Anderson gets it back. Nico Williams. Sangare. Hudson Odoi. Nico Williams now playing as the left back. So Savona comes in and he's playing at the right back. Morato moves to center back along with Milenkovic. So those moves were made in response to the injury to Murillo. So Morata shifts from center back to left back. Excuse me, from left back to center back. Savona comes in at right back, and Nico Williams shifts from right back to left back. Now Sangare. But there's Wanyeri strips Sangare, Milenkovic to Jurian Timber. Jurian Timber cutting inside as an inverted fullback. Maduke in the penalty area, met by Nico Williams. And by Milenkovic. Excuse me, by Anderson. They dispossess him now. Anderson. Morata. There's Mosquera. Gibbs White. Now Ndoye as we near the end of the first half. Ndoye plenty of space on the right side. Met by Eze. Sangare. Gibbs White. Back to Savona. Sangare. To Milenkovic. Morato. Milenkovic. Back to Morato. Hudson Odoi. Met by Wanyeri. Hudson Odoi fouled by Zubimendi. Free kick for Forest. Near the center circle. Nico. Hudson Odoi. Anderson. Hudson Odoi. Gibbs White. Nico. To Hudson Odoi. Nico Williams on the left wing. Met by Timber. The cross blocked by Timber. Throw in for Nottingham Forest. Into the penalty box. Timber clears. Throw in for Forest as we near the end of the first half. Anderson, Hudson-Odoi, Milenkovic, Morato to Anderson. Anderson doing a spin move on Zubamendi. It works. Anderson putting in work. Gibbs White. Oh, with the shot. Met by Jurrien Timber. Great build-up play by Nottingham Forest. Really, Elliot Anderson. Nice work. Good pass by Chris Wood. But Jurrien Timber with the challenge. And Callum Hudson-Odoi knows he had a shot. Goal kick for Arsenal. There's Zubamendi. Zubamendi pushing forward. But that's intercepted by Savona, excuse me. All right, that'll be 7 minutes of stoppage time for the first half. Now Mosquera. Gabriel. Zubamendi, the goal scorer. Marino. Timber. Now Forrest stepping up the pressure near the end of this first half. Wanyeri. Calafiori. Calafiori now in the midfield from his left back slot. Madueke. Madueke cutting inside. The cross. Good clearance by Forrest. Out to Mosquera. Mosquera sends it back to David Raya. David Raya to Mosquera. Calafiori. Madueke. Madueke. Fighting off 3 Forest players. Back to Timber. To Mosquera. To Zubamendi. To Wanyeri. Wanyeri tries to get it to Eze, intercepted by Savona. Savona clears. That'll be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. Throw-in for Arsenal. Marino. Calafiori. Back to Marino. To Gabriel. Gabriel near the corner. To David Raya. David Raya, great pass. To Timber. Now Timber with a lot of space on the right side. To Madueke on the right wing. Madueke. Back to Mosquera. Calafiori. To Eze. Eze met by Savona. Eze blows by Savona. Oh, tries to get it to Goicores, but that's out. And that'll be a goal kick. Victor Goicores. That was not a good effort by him. He's having a very, very quiet first half. Okay, so Matt Sells will take the goal kick. Marino. Zavona fights off 2 Arsenal players. Throw in for Arsenal. Mosquera for Arsenal. Now looks like Forrest laying off the pressure. Gabriel. To Mosquera. Mosquera Long pass to Eze, but Eze is offsides. Still a couple of minutes left in stoppage time in the first half with the score Arsenal 1, Nottingham Forest nil. Nico Williams. Hudson-Odoi. Sangare. To Endoy. Endoy on the left with Nico Williams in support. Gibbs-White. Nottingham Forest looking for answers. Still haven't found it. Endoy tries to get it past Calafiori. Doesn't work. Gibbs-White. Hugging the left touchline to Elliot Anderson. Anderson. Milenkovic. Sangare. To Savoni. To Anderson. To Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi, plenty of space on the left. Met by Maduke. Odoi cutting inside. I thought he was going to shoot. Anderson. Pass didn't work. That'll be a goal kick for Arsenal as we near the end of the first half. As we near halftime. And that's the end of the first half. With the score, Arsenal 1, Nottingham Forest 0. A great goal in the 32nd minute from Zubimendi. Quite frankly, not the most exciting first half that you've ever seen. But nonetheless, Arsenal getting that goal at the right time. From a defensive standpoint, quite honestly, Arsenal really cannot complain. A good defensive effort by Arsenal in the first half. With that being said, not a very high offensive output by Nottingham Forest. Only one shot in the first half. And so as it stands after the first 45 minutes, Arsenal leading Nottingham Forest 1-0. We did have a couple of substitutions. Martin Odegaard, the captain, came off. In his place, Wanyeri. And then Nottingham Forest lost Murillo to injury. And so Savona comes in and he comes in as the right back. Morato slides into the center back slot in place of Murillo. And then Nico Williams shifts from right back to left back. So that's pretty much what we've got in this first half of Nottingham Forest visiting Arsenal. The Tricky Trees trying to get their first win at Arsenal since 1989. And I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be back with the second half of this matchup here on the Operation Bohica podcast. All right, I am back on the Operation Bohica podcast. This is my first Barclays Premier League Soccer watch along of the 2025-26 season. Thank you to everybody that's watching me today on TikTok, my first endeavor into the TikTok world. And also, I am on YouTube and I am on X. And what the heck happened here? I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone here. As we get ready to begin the second half of this matchup between Nottingham Forest and Arsenal. Arsenal leading 1-0 at halftime with a sensational goal from Zubimendi. That was, bro, that was a superbly taken goal. No question about it. That was of the highest quality off of that corner kick. And I'm hoping that that'll open the game up, especially for Forest. Forest really hasn't put much of an effort into trying to score. But again, looks like the second half is about to begin momentarily. Arsenal with a 1-0 lead thanks to a Martin Zubimendi goal in the 32nd minute. Arsenal, 2 wins and 1 defeat. They are sitting third in the Premier League with 6 points. Nottingham Forest with 4 points, 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 defeat. The last time out, Arsenal went to Anfield and lost to league leading Liverpool. Prior to that, they had beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford opening day, 1-0. And then in the home opener against Leeds United, they just obliterated Leeds United 5-0. For Nottingham Forest in their in the first 3 games of the season that were under former manager Nuno Espiritu Santo. Last time out, they got embarrassed at home by West Ham. Ultimately, that was the final game of the Nuno Espiritu Santo era. In the first 2 matchups, they beat Brentford 3-1, and then they drew at Crystal Palace 1-1. And so right now, in the first game of the Ange Postecoglou era for Nottingham Forest, they trail Arsenal 1-0, and we are about to begin the second half here. Thank you to everybody that's been watching me on TikTok today. Again, my first endeavor into TikTok, and so far so good. Hopefully the second half will be more exciting than this first half, other than the Zubimendi goal and a couple other chances in the first half for Arsenal. As far as Nottingham Forest, really not much of an effort. There was a Morgan Gibbs-White shot that went way wide. But let's see if Nottingham can improve in the second half. There's a look at the captain for Forest, Morgan Gibbs-White, as we are about to begin the second half. Arsenal in the home red with the white shorts. Nottingham Forest in the white with the blue shorts. There's a look at Ange Postecoglou and Mikel Arteta. We're used to seeing Ange Postecoglou managing Tottenham, but this is not the Tottenham white shirts we're seeing. This is the Nottingham Forest shirts. So it's going to take a while to get used to seeing Ange Postecoglou in Nottingham Forest colors. All right, so for the second half, Arsenal will be attacking from right to left. Nottingham Forest from left to right. Calafiori. Sends it back out to David Raya. David Raya has had a very quiet first half from a save standpoint. Mosquera, Jurian Timber, excuse me, Wanyeri, Calafiori cutting inside. Long pass, Eze. Eze's there to Goikarez, and it's 2-0 Arsenal. Just like that, seconds into the second half. And the Gunners with a 2-0 lead. My, that did not take long. Less than a minute into the first half, Victor Goikarez, Arsenal star striker, gets a goal. I believe that's his first of the season. And Eze was onside. Gets around Savona. Low cross. Goikarez gets past Morato. And it's 2-0 Arsenal. And it looks like unless Nottingham Forest can make a massive turnaround here, it looks like Ange Postecoglou is about to start his Nottingham Forest tenure with a defeat. And I know Expressions Oozing is going to be real happy about that. That's his third goal of the season for Goikarez. Mikel Arteta still looking very stressed out, but this 2-0 lead will make things a little bit easier for him. All right, that'll be a throw-in for Arsenal. Arsenal up 2-0 early in the second half. Zubimendi. That looked like a foul that wasn't called. Zavona. Milenkovic. Morato. Milenkovic. Back to Matt Sells. Sells. A long pass. Tries to get it to Chris Wood, but Anderson retrieves it. Morato. Morato to Hudson-Odoi. Good pass. Jurian Timber is there, though, to meet Hudson-Odoi. And Jurian Timber, with his physicality, takes it away from Hudson-Odoi, but a bad pass. Now back to Forrest. Anderson to Sangare. Morato. Hudson-Odoi. Gibbs White. Morgan Gibbs White. 3 Arsenal players surround him. To Anderson. Sangare. Savona. Sangare. To Ndoye. Gabriel with the sliding tackle in the penalty area. And that'll be a corner for Nottingham Forest. I believe this is Nottingham Forest's first corner of the game. Oh, excuse me, that was second corner. Elliot Anderson. Oh, almost. Cleared by Forest. Milenkovic. Zavona. Battling Wanyeri. Zavona. Marino. Arsenal's great work to get out of the area to Maduke. Maduke tried to get too cute there with that pass. Elliot Anderson. Gibbs White. 5 minutes into the second half. Forest down 2-0. Zangari. That pass was meant for Chris Wood. But nothing there. Raya. Martin Subimendi. To Jurian Timber. Mosquera to Marino. Marino pressured by Elliot Anderson, but Merino does well. Gabriel to David Raya. Mosquera. Mosquera, I don't know who he was passing it to, but that's out of bounds. Throw in for Forest. Hudson-Odoi. Gibbs White loses it. Arsenal in possession. Calafiori. Arsenal on the counter. Oh, but Calafiori. He loses possession. Ndoye. Ndoye holds off Calafiori to Chris Wood. That's off the post. But there's Hudson-Odoi. Tackle by Mosquera. Good, clean tackle. Oh, Nottingham Forest had a chance. And they blew it. Now Arsenal on the counter. Wanyeri. Maduke with step over. Wanyeri. The shot. Just wide. That cross from Ndoye hit Chris Wood in the chest, and it bounces off the top post. Ange Postecoglou in disbelief. And Nottingham Forest missed their moment. Goal kick for Forest. Elliot Anderson. Sangare. Elliot Anderson. Heavy pressure by Arsenal. Arsenal looking for a third goal, looking to put this game to bed. Milenkovic back to Matthias Sells. Sells. Morato. Anderson. Anderson almost dispossessed. Back to Morato. Back to Sells. Milenkovic. Savona. Sangare. Anderson. Sangare. Savona. Foul by Calafiori. Savona down. They're showing the replay as it was onside. What a great pass. And Victor Goikarez makes no mistake. Good, clean finish. All right, free kick for Nottingham Forest. Forest attacking from left to right. There's the cross over everyone's head. That'll be out of bounds, and that'll be a throw-in for Arsenal. Sangare. On Nicolo Savona, the 22-year-old from Italy. Like I said, that's all I know about him at this point. Okay, bad passing by Nottingham Forest. That'll be a throw-in for Arsenal. Forest regain possession. Anderson near the center circle. Long pass. And Ndoye just couldn't quite get there. And that'll be a throw-in for Arsenal. David Raya to Gabriel. Gabriel. Well, I don't know what he was thinking there. Mosquera, Guarnieri, Jurian Timber, Forrest are trying to apply pressure. They need to. They're the ones down 2-0. Guarnieri, Marino asking for the ball. It goes to Maduke. Maduke met by Nico Williams. Aggressive play by Nico Williams. To Martin Subamendi. To Gabriel. Gabriel to Calafiori. Calafiori to Marino. Marino back to Calafiori. Calafiori to Eze. Great pass to Marino. Marino gets in just outside the penalty area. The shot by Guarnieri way over the top of the bar. But good build-up play for Arsenal. Nice pass. Marino with the low cross, but Guarnieri couldn't make it happen. Mosquera holding off Hudson-Odoi. Now Jurian Timber to Maduke. Guarnieri to Calafiori. Calafiori, a lot of space on the left side. The cross goes to Goicores, but Maduke's there. Maduke. Oh. Sangari for Forrest. Picks it up in the penalty box. Anderson. Sangare. To Nico Williams. To Anderson. Back to Hudson-Odoi. No real sense of urgency right now for Forrest. Gibbs White. Nico. Sangari. Milenkovic. Now Ndoi. Ndoi double team. He's in the penalty box. Pushed off by Gabriel. Good physical play. Now Arsenal back in possession. Eze. Eze gets past Elliot Anderson. Goicores with Milenkovic. Goicores to Maduke. Maduke. Goicores low. Oh, off the post. Off the post. That could have been 3-0. Goal kick for Nottingham Forest. Oh, right off the post. Really good effort. All right, and now Milenkovic. Excuse me, Chris Wood. Bakwa. Okay, some guy named Bakwa comes off, and then Hudson-Odoi is also coming off for Kali Muendo. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who these players are for Forest. Let's take a look. Calafiori, cross, out. Throw in for Forest. Excuse me, goal kick for Forest. Arnaud Kalimuendo comes in for Hudson-Odoi. And Dilani Bakwa comes in for Chris Wood. Dilana Bakwa, 23-year-old from France. Never heard of him before. Same thing with Arnaud Kalimuendo. Another 23-year-old from France. So two Frenchmen coming in for Nottingham Forest in the second half to try to see if they can spring life into the offense of Nottingham. And we're going to have our first yellow card. Of this matchup. And that's going to be on Ricardo Calafiori, so he's on the yellow. So Calafiori with a yellow card. Right, there's Sangari. Oh, Mosquera. Good work by Mosquera. Martin Zubamendi. Back to Gabriel. Back to Mosquera. Mosquera having a solid debut. Calafiori, who cuts inside as an inverted wingback. Now to Eze, lots of space. All the way out to Maduke on the right side. Maduke met by Ndoye. Ndoye tries a low cross. Unsuccessful. Back to Timber. Back to Maduke, low cross. Morata cleared. Morata clears. Gabriel pushing forward. Met by Calimiendo. Calafiori. Zubamendi. Arsenal stout defensively in this second half. Calimundo playing as the striker now for Forest. And it looks like Ndoye shifted to the left as the left midfielder. And Bakwa is playing on the right side. So we're near the midway point of the second half. Eze, good dribbling. No foul called. Elliot Anderson holds off Merino. Anderson. Calimundo. Calimundo met by Mosquera. Back to Milenkovic. To Sangara. Back to Milenkovic. Elliot Anderson. Sangare. Calimundo. Now Ndoye on the left. Calimundo. Back to Ndoye. Anderson. Calimundo. Milenkovic. Bakwa. Good pass. Sangare. Try to get it to Gibbs White. Picked off by Mosquera. Now Eze. Now Wanyeri. Arsenal on the counterattack. Now Jurian Timber all the way to Maduke. That's a good combination on the right side. Maduke. Maduke holds off the defense. Oh, almost. Morato with the deflection. That's going to be a corner kick for Arsenal. The crowd at the Emirates loving what they're seeing. Maduke winning the battle against Nico Williams. That'll be a corner for Arsenal. Maduke with the corner. Goikers with the header over the bar and out. That'll be a goal kick for Arsenal. For Nottingham Forest, excuse me. The header high in the air and over the bar. Milenkovic with the cross. Gabriel holds off Calimendo, heads the ball out of bounds. Okay, looks like we're going to see another substitution for Arsenal. Calimendo with the shot off of Gabriel. That'll be a corner for Nottingham Forest. Corner cleared by Arsenal. That'll be a throw in for Forest. Okay, for Arsenal, Calafiori is coming off a very good effort by Ricardo Calafiori today. And Miles Lewis Skelly is coming on for Arsenal. I think Skelly's like 18 years old. Really good young player. And Declan Rice is coming on for Arsenal in place of Mikel Merino. So Arsenal have had 4 substitutions in this matchup. Merino. Okay, Marino's still in the game. So let me find out who Declan Rice came on for. Ah, 'kay. So Declan Rice actually came on for Goicores. And Mikel Merino, who was known for being a striker, somehow last season, I'm going to assume that he's playing the role of striker. There's Declan Rice to as a loses possession. Okay, so that we're back up to speed. Mosquera. Twenty minutes left. No real effort by Forrest. There's Eze to Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly to Mosquera. Jurian Timber. Mosquera. Back to Lewis Skelly. To Gabriel. Oh, Milenkovic with the steal, but Lewis Skelly there. Now Arsenal back on the counter to Maduke, who's having a great game for the Gunners. Maduke cuts inside. Maduke. Marino's there, dude. Oh, good pass to Timber. Oh, Declan Rice had a chance to make it 3-0. Oh, Declan Rice just missed. All right, Forrest, clear it. But Arsenal putting a lot of pressure on Forrest, trying to get that third goal. Morato, Milenkovic, Zavona, off of Eze. That'll be a throw in for Forrest. Quite frankly, Arsenal now looking quite dominant in this matchup. Okay, so Gibbs White. Gone. He's been substituted by James McAtee. And then there's another substitution for Forrest. I'll check it out in a second. Milenkovic. Okay, foul by Forrest. I thought Sangare had gotten substituted, but all right. So Gibbs White has been substituted by McAtee, but still no real fire from Forrest. And Ryan Yates, number 22, comes on for Forrest in place of Sangare. Sangare didn't do a whole lot in this matchup. And that looks like it came off of Morato, so that might be a corner, and it will be for Arsenal. Arsenal up 2-0. And this is looking like a relatively easy victory for the Gunners here in match day 4. So they will probably end up with 9 points after today. And that's a foul by Lewis Skelly. So that'll be Arsenal ball. Excuse me, Nottingham Forest ball. Zavona. Good job by Gabriel. Guarnieri. Lots of space for in the middle for Arsenal. To Maduke. Now Arsenal slowing down the pace. 15 minutes left in this one. Zubimendi. Gabriel. Gabriel to Eze. Eze bamboozles Zavona. Maduke in the penalty area. There's Elliot Anderson. McAtee. McAtee acquired from Manchester City in the offseason. Good young player. Let's see what he can do for Nottingham Forest. Nico Williams loses possession. Marino. Wanyeri. Off the deflection. Declan Rice. Eze. Lewis Skelly. Back to Eze. Back to Lewis Skelly. Gabriel pushing forward. Lewis Skelly. Mosquera. Julian Timber back to Mosquera. Lewis Skelly. Back to David Raya. David Raya, a very quiet game as Arsenal keeper. Gabriel. Maduke. Maduke. Looked like a clear foul by Nico Williams, and he'll get a yellow card. A frustrating afternoon for Nottingham Forest in the debut of their new manager, Ange Postecoglou. So Nico Williams with the yellow card. Okay, so Gabriel Martinelli is coming on. For and Eze comes on for Martin Trossard. So that should be all the substitutions for Arsenal. Martin Trossard, I think he's about 30 years old. He looks like he's 55. All right, free kick for Arsenal. Declan Rice, shoot the ball, dude. Trust. Come on, y'all. Shoot the ball. Cross. Oh, it's 3-0. Zubamendi with the header. Well, go show what I know, huh? 3-0 Arsenal, and that's a wrap, y'all. And yes, sir, you deserve the game ball there. Martin Zubamendi, your second goal of the game. And now it's becoming a dominant performance. Ange Postecoglou looking at the sign that says go. Nothing new, whether he's with Tottenham or whether he's with Nottingham Forest. You play Arsenal, you just lose, bro. Nice. Nice job by Zubamendi. Good cross by Martin Trossard. He jumps over Nico Williams. Puts it in the back of the net. Now, all hope is pretty much lost for Nottingham Forest. So now all Arsenal have to do is play out the last 10 minutes. There's Ndoye against Timber. Yates. Ndoye. In the 80th minute. Morato. McAtee. McAtee almost gets dispossessed. Morato. Milenkovic. Bakwa. Bakwa with a nice cross. But clear by Timber. Anderson to Milenkovic. Morato. Nico Williams. Elliot Anderson. Yates. Milenkovic. Bakwa. Bakwa in the penalty area. Met by Lewis Skelly and dispossessed. Good defensive work by Miles Lewis Skelly. Gabriel clears it. Milenkovic. Anderson. Out to Bakwa. McAtee on the right side. McAtee surrounded by four Arsenal players. Saloni. Bakwa. McAtee cuts inside. Can he take a shot? No. Gabriel. Good defensive slide there. And now Arsenal on the counter. Martinelli on the right side. But Ndoye meets him. Timber. Declan Rice. Trossard. Oh, the cross, but there's a slip by Martinelli. And that'll be a goal kick for Nottingham Forest. As we near the end of this matchup, Nottingham Forest still showing no real signs of life in this matchup. No real umph to Nottingham Forest. It's all Arsenal. Look at Wanyeri. There's Nico Williams. To Ndoye on the left, met by Mosquera. Ndoye gets the cross. Over the goal. Out to Bakwa. Bakwa, Savona. Anderson. Morato. Milenkovic. Savona. Back out to the keeper, Matt Sells. Matt Sells with a long cross. Tries to get it to Calamiendo, but unsuccessfully. Good defending by Arsenal. Back to David Raya. He sent it to Declan Rice. Rice. To Gabriel. Back to Declan Rice. Zubimendi. Wanyeri, who's done a great job in place of Martin Odegaard. Timber. Timber taken down. And that's a foul. Lewis Skelly. Trossard. Declan Rice. To Lewis Skelly. To Gabriel. Mosquera. Wanyeri back to Mosquera, back to Raya. Magallanes. To Mosquera. Look, like I said earlier, it looks like Nottingham Forest is just no punch. Lewis Skelly. Oh, but there's a steal. Oh, but it's a foul. And that'll be a free kick for Arsenal. A foul by Ryan Yates. He can't believe it, but it's a good call. as we're nearing the end of this matchup. Be a throw in for Forest. There's another look at the goal by Martin Zubamendi. He's definitely been the man of the match. Throwing for Forest. Another throw in for Nottingham Forest. Stolen by Arsenal. Martinelli with the cross. Trossard double teamed in the penalty area. Savona takes it. Now Bakwa. Now Elliot Anderson. McAtee. Now Forrest on the counter. Koulibaly against Mosquera and Timber. Out to Nico Williams. Milenkovic. To Yates. Yates on the left. Nico Williams. Elliot Anderson. At this point, Forrest, they've pretty much just given up. Elliot Anderson. Good work by Declan Rice. Marino. And Marino is fouled by Elliot Anderson. Ange Postecoglou, ain't nothing changed. Nothing changed. And it's a shame that Nuno Espirito Santo got fired. From what I heard, the players love playing for him. Mosquera pushing forward to Timber. Raya. Merino. Lewis Skelly. Declan Rice. Trossard. Zubamendi. Gabriel. Mosquera. Trossard. Zubamendi. Nice pass. Timber. Wanyeri. Cross. Ah, that's a little too high for Declan Rice. As we head into the 90th minute. Let's see how much stoppage time there's going to be. Mosquera. Timber dispossessed. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Back to Sells. Savona. A very meek effort by Nottingham Forest in this first game of the Ange Postecoglou era. About to get shut out against Arsenal. McAtee. Oh, falling asleep at the wheel. There's Declan Rice on the counter to Trossard. Can it be four? Oh, he's taken down a penalty area. No penalty called. Trossard should have done better than that. Okay, good job by Mascara. Milankovic. Nico Williams. Nico Williams has put in a solid shift for Forest. Oh, nice. Nice move by Calimundo against Mosquera. But that's cleared by Arsenal. Yates takes down Merino. Ange Postecoglou like, oh man, why did I take this job? He's got a lot of work to do with this Forest team. There's a look at the Nottingham Forest fans. I think they're starting to. I think they're starting to realize that letting go of Nuno Espirito Santo, at least for this first game, doesn't look like a good decision right now. Trossard to David Raya, who's outside of the penalty area. Zubimendi, Mosquera, Zubimendi. Forest gain possession. Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson on the left. Calimundo. Shot blocked by Marino. Milankovic loses possession. Now Arsenal on the counterattack. Oh, bro, Marino, you missed the chance for the pass. Actually, no, he did. Martinelli against Morato. Cleared. Sells is there in the last minute of this match. So as we count down the last few seconds of this matchup, Martin Zubimendi, a spectacular goal in the 32nd minute, gives Arsenal a 1-0 lead. Then in the first minute of the second half, Goicores with the goal. And then to round it off in the 79th minute, uh, off of a assist by Trossard, Zubimendi made it 3-0. Now Art Forest blocked. Good block by Gabriel off the shot from Kulimenda. And that's a wrap. Arsenal win 3-0 over Nottingham Forest. And that's going to be your final score. So Nottingham Forest losing their debut. Well, Ange Postecoglou, their new manager, loses his debut. 3 goals, 2 from Martin Zubimendi and 1 from Victor Goicores. So that's going to be it. Thank you to everybody that watched this episode of my Operation Bohica podcast. I might do a watch along of the Canelo Alvarez Bud Crawford fight tonight. For sure, I'll be doing another one for tomorrow. The New York Jets hosting the Buffalo Bills. So until then, I'll see y'all tomorrow. And this has been the Operation Bohica podcast.